think it's not in progress. Right now, it's okay.
Perfect.
Okay,
Perfect.
thanks.
Okay.
Perhaps shall everybody in a seconds introduce themselves?
Yeah, indeed. This is, welcome everyone.
And students.
Welcome everyone. First of all, we are all happy to have you here, and we would like to thank you for your interest in the participation to the Blended Intensive Program. Before starting with this brief introduction, as Fernanda was suggesting, I would like to let the people, the organizers of this Blended Intensive Program to present themselves. And perhaps I can start myself. Fabio Palomba from the University of Salerno. That's it. Go ahead. I don't know.
Filomena Ferrucci from the University of Salerno.
Andrea Abate from University of Salerno.
Eduardo, go on.
No, Fernanda, it's you first.
Okay, I'm Fernanda Ribeiro from the University of Porto, Faculty of Arts and Humanities.
So, Cristina, it's your turn.
So, hi, I'm Cristina. I'm from the Polytechnical University of Valencia. So, hi all.
And last, myself, I think that my name is Eduardo, and I'm also from the Polytechnic University in Valencia, a teacher in the School of Informatics that we are organizing, not organizing, the organizers, responsible organizers are from Salerno, and we're collaborating with this blended intensive program on digital humanities. Thank you, Filomena, for take care and organize this, and welcome to all participants.
Okay, thanks. Thanks for this short introduction. Let me start explaining a little bit the context of this blended intensive program, so that everyone is on the same page. First of all, what is the blended intensive program? This is a program which is funded by the Erasmus Plus program of the European Union, and is implemented by at least 3 higher education institutions, 3 universities in our case, from at least 3 countries, in our case, Italy, Spain, and Portugal. And the overall idea, the underlying idea of the blended intensive program is that this program should encourage transdisciplinary and multinational teaching and training. And that is what we are going to do over the next few months. There are 4 main features characterizing the BIP program. In the first place, there is a short-term physical mobility abroad combined with a compulsory virtual component. I will further elaborate on this matter in the next few minutes. Second, there is a joint blended mobility curriculum and activities, and indeed the 3 partner universities have blended together, have arranged a common program for the BIP participants. Third, there will be teams arranged in a transnational and transdisciplinary fashion, which means that you will be allocated to transdisciplinary and transnational teams while working on the common project you are going to deliver. And fourth, because of the main features just discussed, there must be, and there will be for sure, an added value compared to existing courses offered by the individual universities. We honestly believe this will be an opportunity for you to interact with people from different culture, different background, and therefore this will be the added value of the BIP program. As mentioned, there are 3 partner universities: the University of Salerno from Italy, Universitat Politecnica de Valencia from Spain, and the University of Porto from Portugal. Let us briefly introduce these three partners, starting from the University of Salerno, which is the coordinating partner of this intensive program. The University of Salerno is basically one of the oldest academic institutions in Europe, since it can be linked back to the Scuola Medica Salernitana, which is something you will hear multiple times in the next few months, which was one of the first schools that put together medicine back in the 10th century. More particularly, we from the University of Salerno belong to the Department of Computer Science, which has recently turned 50 years since its inception. If you are interested in knowing more about our department, this is there is the link on the slide. And basically, the Department of Computer Science is again one of the oldest computer science departments in Italy, and it has been recently, over the last 5 years, awarded with the prestigious Department of Excellence, which is an award recognized by the Ministry of University of Research for the excellent education and training education and research programs of the department. That being said, I would leave the stage to Eduardo for a quick introduction.
Thank you, Fabio. As Fabio said, we at the Polytechnic University of Valencia in Spain, we are also participating in this Erasmus Plus blended intensive program on digital humanities. Universitat Politécnica de Valencia, Polytechnic University of Valencia, it's a public institution, and it's one of the four polytechnic universities in our country. Polytechnic universities, in the same way that in Italy, and I think also in Portugal, are the prestigious technical universities in our countries. And in fact, the three main polytechnic universities in Spain are in Valencia, Barcelona, and Madrid, and we have a good prestigious and importance for technical degrees in Europe. Our university has 56-year-olds, if I'm not wrong. And so it's not a really old university, because we in Valencia, we got two universities, Universitat de Valencia, which is more than 500 years old, and this technical university that was founded and I think it was in 1969, the last century. And since then, we have been developing and organizing basically technical degrees, but we have also fine arts degrees and fine arts school, and also a business school, business management school. And we got around 28,000 students, 2,500 teaching and research staff, and around 1,500 administrative and service professionals, distributed in three main campuses. The main campus is in Valencia city, which is the Vera campus, but we have also two campuses in Alcoy and Gandina, two cities in the south of the Valencia province. Most particularly, we are participating in this program as the School of Informatics, where the main 3 degrees our students belong are organized. I mean, the degree, the bachelor degree in informatics engineering, the bachelor degree on industrial informatics and robotics, and the master degree on digital humanities. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Eduardo. Fernando.
So the University of Porto, you are going to see two slides. One is the webpage of the university, another one the webpage of the Faculty of Arts and Humanities, that is the institution which I belong, and it is collaborating in this BIP. The University of Porto is the second bigger university in Portugal, but is the best university in what is related with training and research. The University of Porto produces about 25% of the science that is produced in Portugal. So is very well known, is in among the 100 best universities in Europe, and is formed by 14 faculties and one business school. Differently from Valencia, we don't have campus. Our faculties are distributed all over the city of Porto, which creates some problems because we have to move from one place to another. But on the other side, they are different aspects of the town, and usually people like to cross the city and to collaborate between the faculties. The Faculty of Arts and Humanities is the faculty that is collaborating in this BIP, in particular the Department of Communication and Information Science, which I belong. The Faculty of Arts and Humanities is the second greatest faculty in the university, has about 5,500 students, 13 bachelor programs, 30 master programs, and 9 PhD programs. It's a faculty that is focused on humanities and social science. We have programs in the fields of sociology, geography, more focused on social science, and others in humanities. And we have also at the faculty 9 research centers, which are part of the 49 research centers that University of Porto has. So you are very welcome to this program, and I hope it will be a success for everyone.
Thanks. Thanks, Fernanda, for the introduction. Okay, let's come back to the objectives and goals of this blended intensive program. As mentioned already, this BIP will be on digital humanities. Digital humanities is an interdisciplinary field that applies computational tools and methods to humanities disciplines like history, like literature, linguistics, and philosophy. Key areas from, let's say, the computational perspectives includes text mining, data visualization, digital archives, computational linguistics, and any kind of AI-driven analysis of cultural artifacts. Typically, digital humanities supports digitalization of manuscript, automated text analysis, virtual reconstructions, interactive storytelling, and more. And from a technical perspective, it clearly relies on advances on natural language processing, machine learning, geographic information systems, digital publishing, and everything related to data-driven methodologies in the end. And it involves discussions on data ethics, preservation of digital materials, accessibility, and the balance between human interpretation and algorithmic analysis. That's why already during this blended intensive program, we will be discussing about the intersection between the technical perspective and data ethics in some form. Turning to the structure of the BIP program, as you might have heard already, the blended intensive program will be composed of two main components. In the first place, there will be a short term physical group mobility abroad. In the BIP composition, the short-term physical group mobility may be of minimum 5 days, and this is what will happen in Salerno in July, where Salerno will be the venue hosting the students coming from Spain and Portugal. For those of you who don't know Salerno, these are some pictures about the city. As you will see, we have the sea, we have a beautiful sea, and besides the sea, Salerno also hosts the largest square on the sea in Europe, which is Piazza della Libertà, Liberty Square. Close to Salerno, and we will likely have the chance to visit this archaeological site. There is Pestum, which is one of the oldest archaeological sites in Italy. Also, Salerno is pretty close to the Amalfi Coast. This is a picture of the Amalfi Coast, which I guess is pretty well known by everyone. And finally, last but not least, Salerno is also very well known for pizza, and you will have the chance to taste the real Italian pizza, right? And also other types of food.
Mozzarella.
Let me mozzarella as well. Yes, especially in Pestum, I mean, they used to have a nice mozzarella. As for the University of Salerno, differently from Porto, we have a campus, a main campus, which is hosted in Fisciano, which is a city close to Salerno. This is a picture of the main campus. And in the campus, there you will also find the student accommodations, which will host you for the 5 days for the week, presential week in July. This is basically the accommodation, the structure of the buildings, and the buildings are in the main campus, so that you don't have to move to reach the main rooms of the BIP presential event. As for geography, Salerno is quite close to both Naples and Rome. Particularly, it is about 250 kilometers from Rome, and there is a direct train that you can take to reach Salerno. Rome, as you know, it has one of the biggest airports in Europe. You can reach Rome from everywhere in Europe, so it's really convenient and quite easy to reach. Also, Salerno is quite close to Naples, just about 50 kilometers. Also, in this case, there is a direct train, and Naples also has an international airport that I guess is connected pretty well with both Spain and Portugal. I don't know if there are direct flights from, but in any case, it is quite convenient to reach. As said, the presential week will be on July from 20 to 27, 17. And besides the short-term physical group mobility, the structure of the BIP program involves a compulsory virtual component where the lectures will be delivered all using Microsoft Teams by members of the 3 partner universities. You might have already seen the program, which is available on the BIP website. This is a high-level overview of the various, let's say, topics and modules the BIP will revolve around. We start today, of course, with Module 1, Intro and Objectives of the BIP program, and we are all here, all the three partner universities, in order to introduce ourselves, introduce the main activities performed in the BIP. Afterwards, Module 2 will be curated by the University of Valencia, the Polytechnical University of Valencia, and it will revolve around the techniques and tools for project development. Afterwards, the University of Porto will curate all the topics concerned with information management and communication in the digital era. And finally, the University of Salerno will curate the generative AI for imaging and video. So this part will revolve around the techniques and methods for using generative AI to generate images and videos. Finally, during the before the presential week, the Module 5 will revolve around the project definition and development, where you will be basically involved in what we call challenge-based learning, which will lead you to the project proposal. More particularly, some more information about the program. In the first place, Fernanda, please go ahead.
Sorry, just interrupting you, just to say that the schedule that was in the screen, first we had planned classes on Tuesdays, and the dates are already with the first planning. So we moved to Mondays, just to correct this aspect.
Okay. We need to update the website, but okay.
Sorry for interrupting, Fabio, but everyone has available the schedule and organization of the program in the Moodle. And there are in that PDF, at least the first dates are confirmed for Mondays. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, just some more information about the organization. In the first place, to facilitate student attendance, the lecture will be all scheduled from 7 to 9 in the evening. There will be one lecture per week according to the schedule, meaning that, again, you will find the detailed schedule on Moodle. The weekday where the lecture will be held may vary depending on the availability of the lecturer, and again, you will find the detailed schedule on Moodle. And in any case, all lectures are expected to be recorded to allow students to rewatch them or even watch them if they are unavailable in some cases. As for the project, as I was saying, you will be involved in what we call challenge-based learning, which is a learning methodology that revolves around the various steps that you see depicted on the slide. And basically, the idea of challenge-based learning is to provide first a theoretical background about the topics that will be treated in the context of the project, and step by step reaching a solution, namely exploring the challenge situation to solve, understanding the challenge situation, guiding activities for developing the challenge until the analysis of the solution proposals to the challenge, finally reaching the implementation and a conclusion for the given challenge. And the idea of challenge-based learning is to continuously improve the provided solutions by receiving feedback. Depending on the phase, both professors and students will be involved, or in some cases, like the analysis of the solution proposals and implementation, only the students will be involved. And students will be arranged in teams. And as I was saying before, the groups will be interdisciplinary and transnational. This is the complete list of the students involved in this BIP project. And we already arranged a preliminary composition of the groups. Particularly, this is the expected composition. Of course, the slides will be available on Moodle so that you can check them. Quite importantly, we set up a Discord server, which can be accessed through the link shown in the slide, where you will be arranged in different channels depending on your group. So each group will have a dedicated channel, and the participants of each group can meet and discuss over Discord. You will both have textual channels and voice channels so that you can arrange meetings whenever needed, or you can just chat between yourself. What else? As for the project will revolve around the development of social media content for the Scuola Medica Salernitana, which I anticipated as one of the oldest institutions, let's say, in Italy and Europe. In particular, the Scuola Medica Salernitana, founded in Salerno, is considered the first and most important medical school of medieval Europe. Long story short, the Scuola Medica Salernitana put together Greek, Roman, Arab, and Jewish medical knowledge, influencing medical practice for centuries. Indeed, one of the main characteristics of the Scuola Medica Salernitana was that the school emphasized a practical and theoretical approach, and it produced a number of texts which influenced medicine for a long while. As I was saying, the project will revolve around the generation of media content to advertise the activities of the Scuola Medica Salernitana, which is a nice use case that put together the interdisciplinary characteristics of the three partner universities. Indeed, we will have experts from computer science, but also experts from digital humanities. So in this way, the project will let's say, blend together the expertise of different partner universities. As I was saying, you will form transnational teams, and based on the topics of the course and the specific needs of the Scuola Medica Salernitana, you will define and cooperate toward the development of a prototype that will be finalized in Salerno during the presential week and will be finally presented during that week. You will start working on the project remotely. In particular, we will organize the channels on Discord, not on MS Teams, so that each group may communicate and organize itself. And during the physical presential week, you will refine the project and prepare the final presentation. And in the meanwhile, in that week, we will likely have the chance to visit the Scuola Medica Salernitana and discuss with some of their members so that you can finalize your project and have insights and feedback from the direct interested people. This is a very short video presenting the Scuola Medica Salernitana. I hope you will hear it. Let me know. No, you cannot hear it because
No, there is no audio.
there is no audio. Actually, it's not really important because it's just a background sound. So I would just go with that. Well, what you have just watched is basically a representation of the main activities performed by the Scuola Medica Salernitana, and particularly one of the main characteristics was the use of plants like menta, salvia, mandragora, and other plants to curate people in the medieval era. And in Salerno, these plants are still there. The Scuola Medica Salernitana still curates these plants, and as I was saying, we will likely have the chance to visit the Scuola Medica Salernitana and interact with people that are still working toward, let's say, the development of the Scuola Medica Salernitana. That being said, just a few notes about the final evaluation and the credits assignment. Particularly, all the participants will receive 6 credits, and in Valencia and Porto, these credits will be recognized as degree activities, as you might have heard already. Last but not least, these are the contacts of the people involved, the organizers involved in the organization of this BIP program. Let me again thank everyone shown in the slide for the effort, the time spent in the organization. That's it for the introductory part. I don't know if any of the partners would like to say something more. Okay. If not, I would proceed with Fernanda by leaving the stage to Fernanda for the follow-up activities.
Let me try to share my screen. No.
Yes,
Are you?
we can see it. Yep.
Are you? Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And if I can put it in presentation mode. It's okay?
Yes.
Oh. So this, my presentation is just to give the students an overview of digital humanities, some concepts and some information with a lot of links and connections where you can find more information and see examples and have and may deep your interest in this field. So it is organized in, we're talking a bit what are digital humanities, what is this of digital humanities, when it start to emerge, how does it and where is it done, who does it and where is it done, how is it done, and some last slides in order to keep on thinking. So when we talk about digital humanities, we start thinking it's one discipline, it's one field, or as we have it in plural, are there many disciplines? Or in fact, is it an interdiscipline, a new field that crosses and mixes and approaches different disciplines? And for start, talking about this, I think we must situate digital humanities in a broad field of digital culture. In fact, when we think about digital culture, mainly nowadays, since we live in digital era. Digital culture includes values, knowledge, practices, behaviors related to digital technologies, and it deals with the use of electronic devices to develop skills needed to handle information, to participate in our digital society. So in essence, we can say that digital culture is the way in which we relate ourselves to the world through technology, the world we live in that is mainly involved by technology. I'm not able to. Okay. I don't know why, but I can't change the slide. Sorry. Okay. So digital culture also provides tools that allow citizens to exercise their rights, their duties in a more participatory way, and people organize through social networks and all different ways of collaborative work like blogs or other platforms where people can express their opinions and participate in debates and access to information, connect to each other in communities all over the world, and also empowers individuals to become active agents in building a more democratic and inclusive society. So when we talk about humanities first and digital humanities, first of all, we need to think what are the humanities. So I use the classification of sciences, that there are a lot of classifications of science, but this is more or less consensual, that includes in humanities fields like philosophy, ethics and religion, history and archaeology, the literature, literary studies and cultural studies, linguistics, all the arts like fine arts, architecture, and also museology, musicology. So these are the different humanities. So when we think about digital humanities, we can compare it to a large umbrella or a big tent, as it was mentioned by some authors like Warwick, and we have here a quote of this article. You have the link. And the authors say that they demonstrate ways in which big tent attitude to digital humanities is put into practice. Our tent includes not only other disciplines within academia, but also libraries, museums, archives, cultural heritage, practice, and commercial information. And so it's a big umbrella, and the other authors ask, do we have a big umbrella to unify one field, or many umbrellas, different fields that are put together, then they talk with each other separately? In fact, digital humanities is considered by the most part of the authors as an interdisciplinary field of research into the interface between the humanities and new media and digital technologies. The research in this field is marked both by the use of computing and digitization, but to study and to work on aspects that the humanities used to do from centuries ago, using texts, using artifacts, and mobilizing the humanities repertoire to study practice, artifacts that in its relation with digital technologies. This is mostly a synthesis of what is referred in Wikipedia. That is a simple definition, but clarifies the field and scope where digital humanities move. In this interdisciplinary field, we have some sub-areas, as was already referred by Fabio in the previous presentation, like digitization, computational linguistics and text markup, digital text editing, geographical information science, digital classics like archaeology, history, philosophy, publishing, critical creation, and so on. So these related areas that are very much connected with the digital humanities, you can consider the field of media and communication studies, digital social sciences, data science, including data visualization, heritage sciences, creative computing, and also information science. And in this field, we include libraries, archives, and museums. And the participation of our students from Porto in this BIP, they come mainly from this field of information and communication science, because it's a field that is very much connected with digital humanities. Communication usually is considered in social science, but there is a great connection with digital humanities. So we defined more or less the field and its borders, and it's interesting to understand when did it start to emerge. Of course, these things don't appear from the night to the day. They have a long history, and we can consider that since the mid of 20th century, we have some experience. For example, the Father Roberto Bussa organizes the Index Domesticus. The Index Domesticus is with the works of St. Thomas of Aquino, and he organizes an index of his works, and it is considered one of the first examples when technology started to be related with this kind of work. And along the years, we can see appearing a Center for Literary and Linguistic Computing in Cambridge, in Oxford in the 70s, the experience of text archive, and in the 80s, for example, a journal of literary and linguistic computing, and then the text encoding initiative, and then other associations and institutions along the years, and mainly after 2000, we have a lot of initiatives. I have in further slides, I have some examples. Of course, there are only some examples to illustrate this evolution, and you can dip if you want. This is a photo of Father Roberto Bussa, and other photos of the beginning of the involvement of technology with humanities. Laura Mendel, that is gave an interview in 2006. She's professor in Texas A&M University, and he puts very well the question of digital humanities today, because it says, how must humanities disciplines change if we are no longer working in a print world? So in fact, we are for about 20 years, you can consider that we are in digital era, so humanities can't be a side of this area and are of course involved in all these aspects. Now we can talk about who are the persons who work in digital humanities. You also have here a quote of a book who's in and who's out, that tell us that nowadays the term digital humanities, of course, can mean anything from media studies to electronic art, from data mining to edutech, from scholarly editing to anarchic blogging, while inviting code junkies, digital artists, standard wonks, transhumanists, game theorists, free culture advocates, archivists, librarians, and edu-punks under its capacious canvas. So we see we have a lot of people that can be considered that they are doing digital humanities, people from the arts, but from the media, and some professions that are not very much orthodox. They are a little bit aside, but all of these people we can consider that work in the digital humanities, because of course they use the technology in their work, and it's not used as we do when we use computers, but they use to produce their activity, and it's very much connected with that. So where is it done? Where are the humanities, digital humanities done? This is a map of the International Center of Digital Humanities, and you can look at the world and see that, of course, in North America and Europe, we have the most important research centers and academic institutions that work in digital humanities, but in other countries like Australia or the East Asia and Brazil, for example, we have also many universities that also work in this area. And now we have here a lot of information that you can use. Here I put the links. As I said at the beginning, these are examples. I choose these examples. There are a lot of them, of course. There are a lot of associations. Perhaps these are the best representatives of the work in digital humanities, like the European Association of Digital Humanities or the Alliance of Digital Humanities Organizations, or the Text Encoding Initiative Consortium, and this CenterNet, where I took the map in previous slide, an international network of digital humanities centers. If you have a time to concentrate in these aspects, you can find a lot of interesting things in these websites, and perhaps it is useful to give you ideas for the project you are going to develop. I think you have here a lot of material to explore. And also other resources, like, for example, the Clearing, that is a digital infrastructure that offers data, tools, and services to support research based on language resources, is an European infrastructure. Also there, yeah, that is also a European infrastructure for arts and humanistic scholars. It involves 22 countries and almost 2,200 institutions, and provides tools and services, also training and education, open science, working groups, and the area is also open to institutions and to individuals. So persons individually can participate, and it's also a very good example of what is done in digital humanities. Another aspect are the journals, the conferences, the blogs. There are a lot of them also where we can see activities in the field of digital humanities. The last three, there are blogs from people, from, for example, Julian Nyan, that is an historian. The blog is in the field of history and archaeology. Or, for example, Dan Cohen, that is also professor of history of Northeastern University in the United States. Or this Burgle, that is a historian of book, and it is considered himself a digital humanist that works in the University of Oxford, but is a digital humanist and a book historian, but works at the Department of Engineering in the University of Oxford. So you can see here the strong connection of humanities and technology. This is another example of the text encoding initiative. I was talking about who does digital humanities, and now how is it done? It is done mainly through projects and products, and we have here also some examples. This text encoding initiative consortium, it's a non-profit organization that is also composed of academic institutions, research projects, and individuals all over the world. And it's interesting because it develops guidelines which provide the infrastructure for developing machine actionable cultural heritage texts. The text encoding initiative is mainly about encoding texts, and it works since the 90s and has been largely used in cultural institutions like museums, libraries, publishers, to present text for research, for teaching, and for preservation. Another aspect of things then that can be done with the digital humanities is this mapping the Republic of Letters. This is a project of the University of Stanford that works with correspondence among academics. Letters are the letters that academics exchange among each other, and the project consists in using interactive visualization tools, and the material are the correspondence of academics. And another one, Text Grid, also repository of digital editing, also for research and preservation, also for archiving, as a lab, a repository, and a community that is involved in this project. And I talked about doing things, but also we can say undoing things or deconstructing things. This is a project from MIT that works with facial analysis software. This project is a sophisticated analysis of machine learning to deconstruct and reconstruct algorithms. It's also an interesting experience, and you have the link if you want to know more about it. And also digital humanities can be used to redoing things, like, for example, the virtual restoration of artifacts in museums, or the virtual reunification of collections of objects, new forms of publication or performance. So we can, for example, join pieces of old prehistoric objects and restore them, reconstruct them, and there are a lot of examples of the use of digital humanities in this field. Other aspect that is also important about digital humanities is the education and training, as it is considered a field of knowledge. Nowadays we can talk about digital humanities of interdisciplinary fields. So there are appear literature about education and trainings. You see these three examples of books: What We Teach When We Teach Digital Humanities, the Digital Humanities course book, or Digital Humanities in Practice. So we can also learn with this kind of literature that is produced especially for education in this field. So to summarize, we can say that digital humanities is an academic area that is involved in several things, like making resources available in digital formats to academics, to students, to researchers in humanities and social fields. Also is involved in applying existing techniques, and I would say not so much in developing new computer techniques to analyze and to investigate these resources, and also rethinking practical aspects of humanities issues and practice. So we can make a synthesis of the previous slide in these points. And so I left you some slides to give you some elements to think about, to keep on thinking. Digital humanities have also some criticisms about it. For example, this professor Anne Liu has a book where he puts some cultural criticisms in the digital humanities, considering that this idea of the technology comes to save us. Everything is perfect with technology, but of course we have to look at this with some critical thinking, not accepting everything that is given to us in the screens, and this is important also to have a critical perspective of all this new world. And here is a quotation that expresses exactly this perspective. The author says that in the digital humanities, cultural criticism has been noticeably absent by comparison with the mainstream humanities. So that's the idea that nowadays many things are accepted without a critical position, and he considers that digital humanists are developing tools, developing products, doing projects. They are providing data, metadata, and organizing archives, but rarely extend the issues involved into the register of society, economics, politics, or culture. These other aspects are, of course, very important because we live in a society, we are citizens, and, for example, ethical problems are quite important related to digital humanities. He concludes saying that not even the cliché forms of such issues, for example, the digital divide, privacy, copyright, get much play. So these are some aspects that sometimes they are neglected because we are so fascinated with technology and things that, for example, AI can do in the recent times, that we can forget that there are other aspects of social responsibility that can be forgotten in this new world. So some questions to conclude, and I left them to you to think about. There is a sentence a sentence that usually is accepted, that digital imaging is not preservation. However, much is gained by digitizing, but permanence and authenticity at this juncture of technological development are not among those gains. Is this statement still valid? That is an aspect we can think about. Another aspect is how are universities, libraries, for example, keeping up with digital advances and new practices of their users. Thinking about readers born after 2000, because we have a lot of aspects that, for example, in universities are not considered, and to understand to what extent are schools and universities including critical digital literacy in their pedagogical programs and practices. So I think this BIP is a good example of the effort the universities are doing in order to consider this critical thinking, and I hope this is also a great opportunity for you to know more about digital humanities, to explore all this literature and these elements I put in the slides, and also to have an approach, a more social approach to all these problems that, after all, are problems of the world we live in. So thank you. Oh, and I left a final slide with this website about the debates on digital humanities, where you can find a lot of discussions on the more important problems related to the fields. So now, the end.
Thank you, Fernanda.
Okay.
Eduardo will
Okay, but I
present
think that we need first to come back to the main slides. Maybe Filomena, you have it and you can share it with because before going to my presentation, I'd like to.
I'm not sure. Just a moment. Maybe you should have the slides.
Because in the presentation there is the well, no, it's okay because I think that the teams are organized. Okay, I can go directly to my slides. I'm sorry. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Can you please see my screen right now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, just after the presentation of the program, the introduction to the program, after the speech about or the introduction that Fernanda gave us about digital humanities, we'd like to connect this last idea about this lack of critical thinking on most of the programs nowadays with a first activity that you will need to do by teams. So as the slides are going to be in the Moodle or are in the Moodle, you can go back there and have a look at the teams and start working on this first activity during the week, because you will need to connect next Monday to present the results of your first activity, okay? So the idea is that thinking about how is technology affecting our lives, because we talk about digital humanities. Digital comes usually from technical advances, and technology is everywhere, and it's around many of our main activities in our lives. What do we mean by technology? Technology is, according to this definition, the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, especially in industry. So
Eduardo,
we talk about.
Excuse me. Maybe okay.
I think that I have a problem with the slides. Can be.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Now you can see my screen, but not in presentation mode. I don't know why this problem happens to me when someone is inviting me to a team, but it's okay. Okay. I don't know why. I'm sorry. Okay. But you can see my screen right now. It's okay?
Yeah.
On the first slide.
Yeah. Sorry. Again, what do we mean by technology? Technology, it's the application of scientific knowledge for practical purposes, normally in industry, but it's about machinery and equipment that we use to apply that scientific knowledge that we have. And usually technology is related to engineering or applied scientists. But if we look at this word cloud technology, it's about computers, it's about internet, it's about robots, it's about cell phones, it's about applications, it's about IoT or artificial intelligence. So technology has been changed along the decades, and it's related to different meanings. Right now, probably, but you can notice that there are other aspects that you can even include in this word cloud, but it's quite related with these terms. What is the positive impact of technology nowadays? Here are some of the different impacts or positive impacts that we can find of technology in our lives. In the workplace, of course, we increase efficiency because we use the new techniques, new artifacts, new machines in order to carry on with our activities. We got an easy automation of our work and even a better collaboration between our colleagues or even in different among different placements around the world. Of course, in medical advancements, because of the use of technologies, we can get better diagnosis and treatments, even personalized treatments, better results because of the advances of research. We got also telemedicine that we proved during the pandemic era. We have a global communication because of technologies. We can do remote work collaboration like we are doing in this case with this program. We got more learning opportunities and even better social connections. On education, we can use online learning platforms. We can access to personalized learning, applying different techniques. Of course, we can go for a more sustainable environment, and technology is a resource to go for renewable energy solutions and even to install solutions for smart cities. And finally, as a final example of this positive impact of technology, we can have a better response for disasters and safety, including early warning systems and rescue operations. Okay, but on the opposite, we have also a negative impact of technology. And here are some of these negative impacts. We have a negative impact on mental health and well-being, and technology and the use of different devices like probably mobile phones and even apps in mobile phones results in depressions and anxiety for individuals, addictions, sleep disruptions among young people. We got also a problem related to cognitive and social development. We got a lack of attention in some cases. We can notice this when among our colleagues or our students, but technology is also affecting social skills and creativity. There's an impact also in physical health with the use of technology is let's say going to a problem for obesity and eye strain because we got a lack of activity because of technology, or the eye strain because of the excess of use of screens. I'm sorry. And we got also problems with privacy and security that we have been noticing because of in the presentation of Fernanda, with data exploitation and cybercrime, societal issues like misinformation, fakes, digital divide, and last but not least, problems in the context of familiar context and relationships when we disconnect from, let's say, physical social connections. We all know about this, okay? We know that there are a lot of news, programs, articles talking about the positive impact and the negative impact of technology. I would like to show you some final examples and reflections before going to the task or activity. I would like to show you this video first about the emerging of technology. You got here the link to watch the video in case you cannot see it here, because the slides will be in PDF format in the platform. Can you hear the sound of the video?
Hi, I'm Ryan Jenkins,
No?
a philosophy
Yes,
professor
yes.
at Cal Poly.
Okay, thank you.
It's clear how technological advancement has improved the plight of the worker in many ways, freeing hundreds of millions of people from dangerous, dirty, or unpleasant jobs. Efficiency increases in farming, for example, have meant that for the same amount of labor previously required to simply sustain their own family, a single farmer can now produce enough food to feed over 100 people. And what's true in farming has also held for manufacturing, transportation, banking, and other sectors of the economy. Let's imagine a far-off world, a world where machines can do most of our work for us. Is this world coming? And should we welcome it? 2,000 years ago, Aristotle imagined a world where a loom could weave fabric by itself, and a lyre would play by itself to make music. Karl Marx imagined the same thing in the mid-1800s, that in a future world of sufficient industrial advancement, labor would become life's prime want. That is, the thing we don't have enough of, the thing that we miss in life. And the economist John Maynard Keynes in 1930 prophesied that we would all be working only 15-hour work weeks by now, and that it would be a huge problem for society to find new uses of labor after machines took over most of the jobs we had to do to feed, clothe, and house ourselves. Over the last 3 centuries, people have moved from farms to factories, and then from factories to offices. We're still waiting on that 15-hour work week. But now there's a new transformation in work taking place, the shift to artificial intelligence and robotics. And a lot of people think that this time will be different. Why are they convinced that AI and robotics will have such an unprecedented impact on our work lives? Well, these technologies can be built and programmed to do such an incredible range of tasks that it seems with every passing year, there are fewer and fewer jobs robots wouldn't be able to do at least as well as humans, and at a much lower cost. We already see how robots have replaced humans in many forms of manual labor. This is obvious in manufacturing, where the process of assembling things like machinery, equipment, and vehicles, and other products have been largely automated. But such automation has also already taken over much of our farming, mining, and construction work. And surprisingly, artificial intelligence is starting to be used for a lot of mental or cognitive labor too. Many office jobs are cognitively demanding, but somewhat repetitive, filling out forms, calculating budgets, and so on. Tax prep and accounting, for example, are at a pretty high risk of being automated. In fact, a lot of this work has already been handed off to machines. AI has even been used to write news stories about the stock market and recaps of sports games. What all this means is that having a high-paying job or an advanced degree isn't surefire protection against automation. According to some research, even professions like aerospace and nuclear engineering are susceptible to automation. To be sure, experts are split on what the impacts of automation will be in the near future, but a provocative analysis by 2 Oxford economists estimated that almost half of the jobs in the US could be automated away in the next few decades. Now you're talking almost 100 million new unemployed people in the US alone. Some people are content to believe that for every one job that is eliminated by automation, another job is created, say for a programmer or a roboticist, so that the gains and losses balance out. But there's no reason to think that that's a law of economics that always holds up. This time could very well be different. Imagine a world where robots and AI have taken just about all of our jobs. A lot of people, I think, would welcome this world without question. But take a step back and think about how deeply ingrained work is in our individual psyche and in our larger society. Many people find their jobs unpleasant, yes, but many people also identify closely with their jobs. They consider it a calling. They appreciate having an opportunity to contribute to society and to develop their skills and talents in creative and challenging ways. When you think about the central place that work occupies in our lives, it's not surprising that many people choose to work past retirement age. And people who are out of work, either because they are unemployed or retired or teachers who have the summers off, often struggle with depression, listlessness, and ennui. Work provides structure, external expectations and accountability, and a ready-made community of people with common interests to connect with. Work continues to be, for better or worse, a source of meaning for many, if not most of us. In a future without work, we may find that Marx was right, that work is something we miss because of its opportunities for fulfillment. Nowadays, When someone cannot work through no fault of their own, say they are elderly or disabled, we excuse them from working and support them with programs like Social Security or welfare. But what if, in a future of automation, that population balloons to encompass most of society? How would we accommodate the swelling cost of the social safety net? And just as important, how would we find sources of meaning and fulfillment for all of those who are unemployable? This is not to say all work is enjoyable or pleasant. Most people don't love their jobs. But a future without work might be even worse. All of these reflections press us to confront fundamental questions. What's the role of technology in nurturing and structuring meaningful human lives? How can we ensure that when we introduce technology because of its efficiency gains, we don't unexpectedly leave our lives impoverished in ways we might have overlooked? What does the ideal technological future really look like? What do you think?
Okay, I think this is a nice video talking about the impact of automation and robotics on human labor. Okay, and last reflection before going to the activity, it's about the use of artificial intelligence everywhere. According to these statistics, about 78% of people that is accessing internet have personally tried ChatGPT. And for those people, 73%, they believe that ChatGPT will drastically improve our lives. So this means that people is using completely, and I'm sorry because I'm experiencing problems with my computer. I don't know why. Sorry. So nowadays, most of our students, they are using ChatGPT to solve problems, to solve activities, but even we are using ChatGPT to prepare information, even to search for information in the website. But what is the impact of using these solutions? According to the Business Energy UK, ChatGPT is consuming a lot of electricity, assuming, for instance, that a recent study showed that the ChatGPT, the GPT-4 model, consumes 0.14 kilowatts each time it generates 100 words. Assuming that 200 million, there are 200 million weekly active users prompting, we can consider that in just one day, ChatGPT consumes the estimated almost 20 million kilowatts hour each day, which is enough energy to run the Empire State Building for 270 days. In 1 year, it's about 7.23 billion kilowatts hour, which is more electricity than 112 countries. This is crazy. And if we go for water consumption, it's almost the same. Assuming the same situation, in 1 year, ChatGPT is consuming 7.14 billion gallons of water each year, which is a lot. It's enough water to fill the Central Park Reservoir 7 times. Okay? In just 1 day, it's equivalent to flush the toilet, the whole population in Belgium at the same time. So, on one side, we have a positive impact of technology, and on another side, we have a negative impact. So, the activity, it's around this idea. So, you all will have to work in teams, in groups, and the idea is that you will have to think of one activity or context where technology impacts how we live, how we work, how we interact. You will need to describe this example or this activity or this context, including some examples. You can use images, videos, testimonies, etc. And for this context, for this activity, you will need to describe how technology is positively impacting and think about how technology is having a negative effect. The main idea is that you prepare a kind of presentation for the rest of the people, for the rest of the teams, and for the teachers by the next Monday. Okay, the activity or the assignment will be in the Moodle, and you will need to upload every team. You will need to upload the presentation by next Monday until 2:00 in the afternoon. Okay. And then we will connect again at 7:00 in the evening to do this short presentation and promote discussion with other groups. Okay. Any question? Any comment about this? This is just the first activity that we consider is quite useful to think about